You guessed it, Pressure Points with your two favorite hosts. I'm D, and this is Gatemaker AJ. We're coming at you with Season 6, Episode 19, Get Rich Quick with Portuguese Elvis, Part 4. We have a financial expert on site to mansplain the intricacies of cryptocurrency, so find us for additional content on Patreon and Insta at PointSoPressure. Let's get to it.
Nice.
Oh, goddamn, we did it.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
It's another Monday.
Yeah, it's another episode.
We've made it.
I mean, we showed up.
Yeah.
We did the minimum.
We survived another week.
Yep. How's everything been going?
Not bad. Had a little family party today for my nephew and father's birthday.
Nice.
That happened this month.
Well, that's so doxy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to mute that.
Right? And balled out. Played some basketball against my nephews.
Yeah.
I am too fat and out of shape to do it, so I am beat the fuck up.
Nice.
But we won, so fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them dumb.
One.
Fuck them stupid 8-year-old kids.
Stupid 8-year-old idiots can't even ball.
Yeah, God, get on my level.
Yeah, seriously, what the hell?
Yeah, they're gonna be fine. However,
no, they're already recovered.
Yeah, they weren't even spent, and I was sweating my tits off.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But,
it was a warm day. It was nice.
Yeah, it's not. So the thing is, the way my parents' house is set up. Oh God, this is gonna be even further doxing. It's facing west.
Oh no!
So
they can find you.
When the sun starts to go down, the backyard is entirely covered with shadow.
That's nice.
And so it's really nice. We all just kind of hung out outside. We brought our little pup. She went crazy chasing the kids.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, we were able to play entirely in the shade. So no complaints here.
Yeah.
Even though if you looked at me, it looked like
you were having a heart attack.
I spent an entire day working on the fucking railroad.
You spent 2 hours in the steam room.
Yeah.
No, I get it. We kind of had a slow start to our day today. I did some homework and made some breakfast and then we went outside and I mowed the lawn and made a gate, built a gate. That's doxing.
Yeah.
Great. My lawn is mowed. But no, it
built
was
a gate
nice.
on the west side of your house. Oh fuck.
No, it was really good. It was really nice to kind of get outside for a little bit. Now I'm getting allergies, but
oh really?
Yeah.
It's probably because I'm covered in pollen.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
it's you. You got squirted with pollen?
So my parents have, oh God, this is even more doxing. Next to the basketball hoop, there's a pine tree, and it's got all those little bushel things on it. And when you hit it, it's just, it goes,
oh, yeah.
And it's just
see the pollen.
So much pollen that's falling out.
Yeah.
And when we were playing, my dad was like, oh, I got to trim that tree because it's covering half of the hoop. So you couldn't shoot on half of the court.
Oh, that's
Or
great.
you would have gotten blocked by that fucking tree.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Fantastic.
It's me. You're allergic to me.
I'm allergic to you.
So this is our last episode.
This is the last episode.
I'm moving out. I'm getting kicked out.
Yeah, I'm kicking you out. I'm allergic to you.
That's fair.
No, been a good week.
Yeah.
Taking it easy.
Yeah, I called in sick Thursday and Friday,
Hell
even though I wasn't. It was 2 mental health days.
You were sick on the chronic.
Yes. But yeah, just took Thursday, Friday off. It felt like pretty much every other day at work. It's making me realize if I'm going to call into work, I should probably do it when I actually have stuff to do. Because I woke up and was like, I didn't do anything. 5 o'clock hit and I was like, damn, it feels like every other day. Nothing feels really that different.
That's the worst.
I mean, I don't do anything when I'm at work, when I'm on shift, so it wasn't any different.
Especially not working.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I just wasted 16 PTO hours and I did the exact same fucking thing that I would have done if I had been on shift. So
dang,
it's all good though.
Yeah, it's all right. It's still worth it.
How about you? How was your week? Busy?
So I got a recommendation from a listener, which is really good.
Really?
Yeah, it's a book called Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh yeah.
And it was so weird. I was talking to them, and they're like, "Hey, you gotta I'm listening to this book. You gotta listen to it or read it. However." So I got it, and I'm listening to it, and it is the first minutes are so compelling.
Yeah.
And it just gets better.
Are you just listening to it?
I'm just listening to it at work.
Okay. That's fair.
1.25 speed because the narrator's a little slow.
Yeah,
but
they always are.
It's really good. It's about the Osage people in Oklahoma, And then we found out, because I looked it up when they were telling me to suggest, or when they were suggesting it to me. I looked it up, and it's going to be a movie this fall.
Yeah.
And it looks good. It's like Martin Scorsese and
Leonardo DiCaprio. No female actors over the age of 25.
Perfect.
I'm just kidding.
It's got
Brendan Fraser.
What's that? Brendan Fraser looks evil. What's the other? Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro
is in it. Like, it's a big movie, and it's crazy that we just started listening to it. So I'm gonna do an episode
tonight.
No, not tonight. In the future, before the movie comes out.
You should do it the same week. You should do it the Monday that it comes out.
Maybe
you should do it the Monday after it comes out, so when everybody's searching for that movie, they find our show instead.
All right. No, but sometime between now and the movie, I'm gonna do an episode just about the Osage people and their history and stuff like that. I think, if I can swing it, because it's there's a lot to talk about, and so that it doesn't actually spoil the book or anything like that, or the movie. And then after the movie, I say we all go out, see the movie,
I'm down to see it.
And then when we're done with it, come home and record an exclusive episode.
Yeah,
and talk about the movie.
Start nighttime pressure points.
Yeah,
whatever it was.
PP After Dark.
Yeah. PP After Dark.
Just as a little exclusive episode, talk about the movie, because like the trailer is amazing. Normally, I don't like to see the trailer, but trailer looks phenomenal.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. Then I started watching Steve 1989 MRE. It's like guy on YouTube who eats old rations and stuff, and I like old stuff.
No.
Yeah. And if you remember, I think it was last season, kind of got in a little hot water because I overbid on a couple things that I wasn't expecting to win. And then, I had to pay for them all at once.
Just before we started recording, AJ turned to me today and he was like, "Oh, fuck, you remember how I stole my girlfriend or my wife's credit card?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Those things that I used her credit card info for, won on eBay, and now she's going to be in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt." So what'd you get?
So I got 3 items. First off, I only wanted one any of the 3. But, you put down the bids, and if
you
I
win
get
all 3?
And if I get outbid, I just won't up the bid. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's how I normally do it, and 99% of the time I get outbid on all 3. I won all of them. I was the only bid for all 3.
What were they?
And they're really cool. I don't know why. You're going to make fun of me.
I am, because...
But they're cool.
Last night...
And they're things that you're like, that I think people would want to buy.
So last night, to preface this even further, last night we're playing video games, and we go upstairs. My girlfriend and I go upstairs to go get a cookie from AJ and his wife, and he's like, "Oh, hey, check out this cool thing that I just got." And I was like, "Oh, okay, what's he got?" He's like, "Look, it's a bedpan from the 1950s."
That was free.
And I was like, "Bro, what?"
Yeah, a bedpan and urinal set.
He's like, "Yeah, the person I got it from was just going to give it to a hospital and they'd put it on display. They don't deserve that." I was like,
"Fuck no.
Bro, what the fuck?
Fuck no. I need that for when I get old."
So what do you have? What'd you get?
So the first one, personally, I think is the coolest.
So it's probably the most stupid one.
Probably.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's a gas mask in a can.
Okay.
So they used to distribute the M9A1 gas masks that were used up to Vietnam in the military. Then they were used by police and National Guard during Vietnam. They would distribute them in these big cans, and I'm gonna open it.
Yeah.
Because the gas mask is stamped with the production date.
Oh, okay.
And it may be extremely valuable depending on the year. But
is it more valuable if it's in the can?
Well, here's the thing. I'm only paying $20 for it.
Oh, okay.
And normally opened, like completely opened with the mask out of the box, it's like $100 starting on eBay.
Okay.
Like, why didn't anybody bid on this? Like, that was the one I was sure I was going to get outbid on.
It's a gamble. It's going to be from like 2003.
I would be so pissed if it was a reproduction or if it was empty.
Yeah.
If the bottom was just cut out of it, I would be so pissed. So I thought that one was super cool. I'm going to open it, maybe make a little video on it or something.
There you go.
Then this one I was sure I wasn't going to win. And I think it's from Korea.
Okay.
But it could be from Vietnam.
It's a waifu pillow, isn't it?
It's a fingerprinting kit. It's a U.S. military intelligence fingerprinting kit. I didn't think I was going to get it. It's not bad. Like, it's a rare item. Like, it's pretty dang rare.
Yeah.
but there's
So
also not a
cool.
lot of. It's hard to date,
Mm-hmm.
but it's super cool.
Yeah, it's
Super
just a
cool.
fun
But
thing.
like, why did I buy that? I don't
You just
need
got to take
that.
your guest bedroom and
Make it into a museum.
yeah, literally just
Fuck
do
yeah.
shelves and do a little
I would-
AJ museum.
I would die. I have enough shit for it,
I know you
especially
do.
after this.
Yeah.
Third item was the item that I wanted most of all. It's a 1963 Vietnam War U.S. military issue first aid kit with sealed contents. It's got the original contents in it,
Okay.
and so little green box with a red cross on it, and then there it is with all that stuff in there.
Ooh,
Is this
nice.
doxing? Can people find me on eBay for this stuff?
I don't know. Maybe.
Fuck. But it's got like the like first aid guides
Oh
and
shit. Okay.
the pamphlets and shit. Issued October 1962, slightly revised September 1963. And it's got like the safety now pamphlet. This is how to do breath shit.
Damn.
Here's all the bandages and stuff. So I'm gonna pack that open. It was probably used in like administrative buildings.
Yeah.
Because it's not a super intense kit, but yeah, it's a military issue from Vietnam.
Oh yeah, not bad.
Yeah, but again, I only wanted one of these. So, let's get that rent coming. No, I'm just kidding.
So
I'm
if
in no
you're
rush.
if you're in the market for
If you're
buying
in the
one
market
of
for
the
these
two of these three things, just reach out. We
Yeah,
know
I
we
mean,
know a
no.
guy.
Yeah, somebody. I don't know who, but no, it's I'm excited.
Yeah, good, as you should be.
But I was just like, oh, okay.
Oh God.
Oh fuck. Okay, I have $0. So subscribe on Patreon if you want AJ to fund his addiction
Yeah,
of
right.
buying old useless shit.
Speaking of which, we're trying to do this at the start of the show now. So we do an additional
yeah.
exclusive episode per month on Patreon. We have a bunch of episodes called Sloppy Seconds where we just kind of bullshit around and chat about whatever. It's not as like structured as the regular show.
It's pretty loosey-goosey.
We have like 20 plus episodes of Sloppy Seconds. They're like 15 minutes long. And then AJ is working on a series called Voices on there. So
Slowly.
and if you want to see what the studio looks like when it's clean and when we first moved into it, there's a video on there too. You get exclusive.
There's a toe reveal.
Yeah, exclusive foot pics on it. So,
Yeah, if you're into dude feet, let us know. We could work something out for you.
but yeah, check us out. Even if you don't subscribe, we would appreciate it if you guys just click around on the website. Any traffic helps us out.
All right. Well, are you ready to meet Portuguese Elvis?
Yeah, I am.
Well, I'm reviewing my notes, and it looks like there was a typo. It's Alves, not Elvis.
Wow.
It's Alves. Alves,
Wow.
it's Reis, and he's Portuguese.
Yes.
So, Reyes?
Reyes.
Reyes? I'm just going to call him Alves.
Yeah, Elvis.
Or his full name was Arthur Virgilio Alves dos Reyes.
God damn it.
But we'll call him Alves. He was born in Lisbon in 1896, in September 8th.
Okay.
So, not a great start to the world. You're definitely going to live through both world wars if you don't die young.
Yeah, that's
But-
rough.
Lisbon, capital of Portugal. I was on their Wikipedia page, and their pictures, it looks beautiful. I want to go there.
Oh, I'm sure.
There's some beautiful architecture there. He was born, let's start, continuing the bad timeline. He was born to a poor family, very lower class. His father was an undertaker
Oh,
who was in a lot of debt.
damn.
I don't know how you get in a lot of debt as an
Jesus,
undertaker, but yeah. And Alves wanted to go to school for engineering. So normally you'd say, well, poor family, you can't go to school. Yeah, but this was the early 1900s, so he probably worked a part-time job and had more buying power than I have working a full-time
Yeah,
job.
for real.
Put himself through school without debt or something. And so he starts going to school, fairly normal childhood for being poor. Most of our listeners relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he gets to school, and after about a year, he's like, this isn't for me. I'm just going to go get married.
It's like engineering is for putzes. I'm going to get into gambling like my dad.
Yeah. Undertaking. No,
Gambling and
Oh,
undertaking.
yeah. You gamble on the corpses,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
roll the dice on them.
That's what his dad used. Was he was paying him with bones.
Bone dice.
Yeah.
So he quits after a year and gets married to a woman called Maria
A
Luisa.
woman called Marilyn. God.
No, Maria Luisa Jacobetti de Azevedo in 1916. Weirdly enough, she was extremely wealthy. Her family was very wealthy.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
And at this point, World War II is in full swing. He's married into a much more upper-class, rich family.
Nice.
And they don't really like him.
Yeah, because he's a college dropout.
Well, because he's poor.
Yeah,
and
he's a poor college dropout.
because his dad declares bankruptcy.
Oh,
Because he's in so much debt. So basically, the whole family is like, why did you marry him?
God
What the
damn
fuck
it.
is wrong with you? This guy's an
Jesus
idiot.
Christ. I fucking hate rich people.
He also did not want to go to World War I.
Oh, I fucking
some
wonder
reason.
why.
So to avoid being drafted and
He said he had bone spurs.
Yeah. To avoid being humiliated by the family, they just decide to go to Portuguese and Angola, which is in southwestern Africa.
Mhm.
It's a colony. And they're like, okay, yeah, you don't have to go to France and fight in the war, but you can't stay here. Go to the colony. Go get some work done.
You can't go, but you can't stay here.
Yeah, exactly. So they, lots of animosity from the wife's family is what I'm picking up.
Yeah.
And so Alves packs his bags and packs his wife and grabs his college diploma and sets off for Angola.
Good.
Yeah.
The end.
The problem is he dropped out of school. So how do you get a diploma? See, he got a diploma from, where was it? Oxford's Polytechnic School of Engineering.
Okay.
Which was interesting because he didn't go to Oxford. He went to a Portuguese university.
Yeah.
Also, Oxford's Polytechnic School of Engineering doesn't exist.
Yo, this guy's a good old-fashioned scam artist, isn't
He forged a college diploma, and then he got it notarized in Lisbon.
Yo, anybody that says that it was a harder time, they're like, oh, yeah, like, man, 1900s was a struggle. It was probably harder to survive, but goddamn, if it wasn't so easy to just bullshit your way through life.
Anything. You could bullshit through
Jesus.
anything. He got it notarized.
God damn.
I don't know how, but, maybe he bribed him. Maybe the notary was just didn't double check. But I really think the notary just didn't give a shit. I think they were just like,
Yeah.
okay, stamp.
Yeah, just shows
Who
up
gives a
and
shit?
he pays his, like, 2 pence, and then they're like,
And
cool,
then
you're
you're
set.
Yeah. So the diploma specifically states that he studied geology, geometry, physics, metallurgy, pure math, paleography, mechanics, and electrical and mechanical engineering.
Damn.
So he studied like 11 topics or something, apparently. And
My man did it all, a jack of all trades,
he-
an Alves of all
yeah.
trades.
he shows up with the degree in his hand, and he gets a job working in in cities, in a municipal type job, working in sewers, construction, and repair of infrastructure. Because they're trying to develop the colony to be more westernized.
Yeah. Trying to catch up with the times.
Yeah, and then he gets a job by 1922. It's been a couple of years. War's over, and why go back to Portugal at this time? Because a lot of Europe is in a recession, if not a depression, because of the war, and they lost like huge percentages of their male workforce. So
Yeah.
he just stays in Angola,
Fair.
and he gets a job at Ambaca, which was a railway company for basically the entire colony. And by 1922, he was chief engineer.
Of course he was.
He was
God
running
damn,
the
dude.
show. It was like 6 years. Also,
What a stud.
it's 1922, so he's 26
Ooh.
or something.
Yeah.
Now,
He
he's
was born
pretty young.
in, what?
96.
97, 96, yeah.
Yeah, so he's running the show down there, which, I'm not going to blame him
No, dude.
for the next part.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, up to this point,
It's whatever.
he's just trying to get fucking by, dude. Like,
Yeah, he's trying
Poor-
to be wealthy so he can rub it in his wife's face, or wife's family's
poor
face.
in the 1900s. He's some shit.
Oh, yeah. So, turns out the company had a lot of debt. And the company starts to fail.
Much like his father.
Yes.
Their CEO was a gambling man.
A lot of the investors are getting nervous that the company's going to go out of business, and, it's making a lot of money for the Portuguese, government. So the Portuguese government sends them a bailout of $100,000, which is a lot of money,
Yeah.
especially for the time period. And Alves knew this because he's chief engineer. He gets all the information. He almost runs the company.
Yeah, and he put it in his pocket.
No. He can't do that. That's too obvious. So instead, he contacts his personal bank in New York, and he writes out a bunch of checks, has them write out a bunch of checks, and put them on a ship to West Africa.
Okay.
To buy the company.
Oh, shit.
He didn't have the money in his bank account.
Yeah.
But he's got these checks, and he knows it's going to be a couple of weeks.
Yeah, what are they
going
to do?
there.
Like, find out electronically?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's not instant. So
they're just going to Morse code over beep, 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 and check bounced. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Actually, that's what, if they arrive, and they will call the bank and say, hey, are these good? Like, does he have this much money in his bank? So he has to come up with enough money to buy out this entire company before the checks arrive by ship.
Okay.
So
Clocks
he's
are
on.
ticking.
Yeah, he's on. He's focused. He took his Adderall. He's ready to go.
Like a tick, tick, tick,
Yeah.
fucking sound on here. It just goes the rest of the episode.
Oh, not that long. So he didn't have the money. How is he going to get the money? So he transfers the bailout money to his New York account.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Which happens basically instantaneously. They don't physically have the money, but the money's like promised.
Yeah.
And then it gets shipped and whatever, you know. But at the time, it was kind of like some things were instant, but some things needed like a physical check. So he transfers the money into his personal bank account. The checks arrived. They cleared. He buys the company. Majority share. He had enough money left over to also buy the Angola Mining Company, the main mining company in the entire colony.
Which is wild because $100,000 right now won't even buy you like a garage on a house.
Yeah.
Like, God damn.
It's crazy. So for 2 years, he gets away with this. He owns majority shares in both companies.
He's rolling.
He's rolling. He's getting a lot of money, sending a lot of money around, investing in some, here and there as you can. And then the summer of 1924, he gets caught.
Uh-oh.
Basically, someone was crunching the numbers and realized what he did. And he's actually living in Porto, which is the second largest city in Portugal. Living the high life. Like, middle finger to the wife's family, rubbing
so
it in.
He moved back to Portugal.
Back because he was rich.
Yeah, he didn't have to
work. So
work.
basically, he didn't have to work. He just got checks.
Yeah.
He just got paid every week or month or whatever.
Makes sense.
So he's living the high life, the Miller high life, and he gets arrested. He's in prison pending sentencing for 54 days. And then he gets released due to a technicality. Basically, they were only able to charge him with passing a bad check.
Do you want to know what it was? It's because the account said Elvis.
Yeah, that's why. That's exactly. No,
it
was just a dumb technicality where it was like, we can't get him on the embezzlement of $100,000, which at that time period, that's a shitload of money.
Yeah, which is we've discussed this in previous episodes based on anybody that I've talked about going to jail recently. 54 days for $100,000 and buying two companies with the government's cash is fucking preposterous.
Yeah. And nobody else got in trouble, like, the bank who knew he didn't have enough money to clear the checks and then randomly got a deposit for the right amount of money. Like,
interesting how that works out.
Yeah. They don't care. But he started to tell people it was a criminal conspiracy that he got caught.
Oh, nice.
It was the bankers, it was the financiers, it was the global elites.
And they're trying to steal his company away. So everyone started making signs that said, "Stop the steal."
Yeah.
And
stop
the count of how much money he embezzled.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all stop the steal. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. In those 2 years, he also set up I think he bought an American car, used car business.
Jesus.
With the money, and he set up a company that would ship shit from the U.S. to Angola.
He was on a
he made a bunch of money.
He was on a first name basis with Henry Ford.
Pretty much. And he also got to keep all that stuff. Like, they didn't take any money. He was released on a $10,000 bail.
Oh yeah,
which he just paid.
Which
he just paid. He just paid it because he was
like, what the technicality was?
I couldn't figure it out.
Damn.
But it was something just dumb.
Yeah.
Like, he obviously lost control of those two companies.
It was like two different dates. They were like, oh, well, he technically paid for the company. Like, I would imagine
it was like,
something
technically
with
he did pay for the company.
Yeah, that he signed the purchase over, prior to them even receiving the money. Is my
I think it was the
guess.
dates on the checks. He forward dated the checks
That's probably
so
what
that the
it
money
was.
was it was stupid. It was really dumb.
Yeah.
And he, with that import-export company that he set up, also got caught just slightly trafficking arms. Just a little bit.
Honestly, that's just
That was the side job.
yeah. That's not even what this episode's about. Honestly,
It really isn't. It isn't. That's the only time I talk about it. So now, much like Adolf Hitler,
oh God.
when Elvis was in prison, he got to thinking. He got to planning.
Uh-oh.
All great thinkers, hold on, let me not say that.
Oh, no.
All great thinkers start in prison. So, during these 54 days, which it was an eternity, 54 days, oh my gosh.
Oh, God damn.
He starts planning his next move.
54 days in a Portuguese prison? No thanks.
I don't have to pay rent or pay for food or
God.
anything for 54 days. Oh, don't sign me up. So during his company takeovers, he started making some friends and some connections with some fairly powerful people. People who had some very specific and useful skills.
Yes, people who were serving 32 days in Portuguese prison
Pretty
for
much.
financial crimes.
People who had good reputations and were legit, but had a checkered past if you look into them just a little bit. People who would say, I mean, if it's legal, I'll do it, even if it's not ethical, or, if it's a gray area, it's whatever.
Okay.
And he starts thinking. He starts putting together like an Ocean's 11 team of people. So his plot was to forge a contract from the Bank of Portugal. The Bank of Portugal was partially privately owned, and it was in charge of basically printing the money for the country.
Okay.
So he wanted to forge a contract that authorized him as a contractor to print legitimate banknotes from official printers for the purpose of loaning money to develop the colony of Angola.
Damn.
Angola. It's Angola. but
Angola,
it's
yeah.
just I've said it a million times, so it sounds weird.
Damn.
So
he basically
he's
is
not-
setting himself up as a private lender without, like, he's basically just creating money.
Yeah, and it's real money. They're not counterfeits.
He's like, I am the Federal Reserve, pretty much.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do. That's his
Jesus.
plan.
Yeah.
He realized that there's some strange, interesting loopholes for having a partially privatized national bank, which includes
God damn it,
people
dude.
have shares and like they're investors, like it's a private company.
Mm-hmm.
So people have different, share amounts. You can get the majority if you buy enough shares. You can get the majority control of a national bank. Is essentially what
Damn, dude.
he realized that there's some weird stuff, but that's so much money. You
There's a
couldn't do
reason.
anything.
There's a reason engineering school wasn't for this guy.
Yeah.
And it's because he was basically a fucking lawyer. Like,
Yeah, he
the
like
man,
I don't know how
the man was perfect
he's
for a law
naturally
degree.
like this.
Yeah.
And he couldn't take over the bank by like forging shares or anything like that because in the bank charter, the people who owned the shares were anonymous. It was kept private to protect their identities.
God damn
So he
it,
couldn't just
dude.
take over the bank by forging shares.
Yeah.
That was his first thought, I think.
Yeah.
That's my theory. So
I mean,
instead,
that of course that would be his first thought. Like,
yeah, just take over the bank and then you can just do whatever.
Yeah.
But he then he went this way. In late 1924, he wrote the contract out and got it officially notarized. Again,
100%.
probably the same notary.
No, he just has a friend that worked for the notary that, like, when everything crashed in, like, I don't know, every year,
Just post-war, yeah.
they just kept the stamp. That's all
Yeah,
it
right?
was. Yeah.
Like,
He just had a
it's
friend. He was
crazy.
like, hey, what do you do with that stamp? And the guy's like, oh, it's just from one of my old jobs. And he's like, is it cool if I take that? And the guy's like, yeah, I don't give a
I just
fuck.
wanna look at it.
I don't want to work there anymore.
You want me to throw that away for you?
Yeah. I'll
gonna
toss that
finish
out
that?
for you. And then he just buys a little pad of ink, and he's like,
You're set.
"Oh shit,
Dude, I don't know how, but
that is
he
wild." I mean,
either
somebody
bribes him or the person just doesn't
somebody
give
in
a
a
shit.
position that's pulling shit like this, he either has connections or he has one of those fucking stamps.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
It's just that fucking easy.
And so he ends up then, because it's officially notarized, he then gets it notarized 3 more times. From the country of Britain,
Oh my god,
France, and Germany. He gets it
Jesus.
officially diplomatically notarized.
Homeboy's literally going to destabilize the entire
don't know.
European fucking economy.
Dude, he does worse than that. Which we'll get into.
God
but
damn.
so he gets it officially notarized. Somehow. This is legit notarizations.
Yeah.
These aren't forgeries. Then he translates the contract into French, signs it as the bank officials because he traces the signature from the money, from the banknotes.
God damn.
So it's a trace signature of the bank officials in French. And now it seems like it has international support and legitimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The next step is...
No, it doesn't seem like it.
No, it is.
It definitely has
It
international
is.
support and legitimacy now.
Yeah, because I don't know how he fucking did it, but silver tongue,
Good
I guess.
God,
I don't know.
dude.
Next step is he's got to get his friends to help. And he doesn't want to let them know
Yeah.
that it's a forgery. Even though
fair.
they're going to be in on it, even though they're going to benefit from it, even though he's going to pay them.
Yeah, you still can't. I mean,
needs
it's
to be-
plausible deniability.
Yeah, well, he just needs to be the only one who knows the original form is a forgery.
Yeah.
So that it's trust no one.
Yeah,
you know, if you're going to scam,
nobody else fucks up and tells their
Exactly.
shitty wife, and
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. So he starts,
nobody tells their police officer husband
Yeah.
that also works side gigs at the
who
IRS.
owns the majority share at the bank. Yeah.
at Chase Bank.
Yeah. So he builds the story that the loan and the mini printing operation is a clandestine mission from the Portuguese government to develop Angola. The idea is that it has to be a secret because Portugal at this time period has a severe reputation of self-dealing, corruption, stuff like that. So the idea is, we do it quiet, and we still can develop this colony, make the country very wealthy,
Yeah.
and nobody's going to have corruption. You know, it's not going to be... None of that money's going to go to the wrong place.
Yeah, despite
Turns out
all
all of it is.
despite all of it going to the wrong fucking place.
Yeah. It also would have been politically unpopular to put this much money into the colony while the country itself is struggling.
That's fair.
So that was the next thing. It's like, you can't tell anybody that we're doing this because it looks politically unfavorable, and we have a lot of silent investors and backers.
Okay.
So, you know, we don't want to ruin their career, so just don't talk about it. So in enters Dutch trader, Carl. I cannot pronounce his last name. I tried. It's got so many V's, Y's, and S's in it. We're just going to call him Carl. It's Karel. That is his actual first name.
Carl.
And then German trader by the name of Adolf Hennies.
Oh, we're close.
Close. And the brother...
Adolf Heinies.
Yeah, exactly. And the brother of a Portuguese ambassador named Jose Banderas. His brother, the ambassador, is Antonio. His name is Antonio Banderas. And it's fantastic. I
That's
saw
amazing.
that. And
This is how you found it. You searched Antonio Banderas. You were
Shirtless.
shirtless
Portuguese.
Antonio Banderas, and it pulled up a picture from like 1924. You're like, wait, he's that
Wait.
old?
Hold on, he is a vampire. I knew that movie was a documentary. So all of these people had legitimate connections in trade, in politics, especially, you know, the brother of an ambassador. But I think Carl, also had like a diplomatic passport from Liberia. Like, they had all these weird connections.
Dude, the Dutch
that
always
were
have the
perfect.
craziest connections.
They do. And you know the Germans do. Turns out also, we didn't figure this out until later. Adolf Hennies was involved in espionage and spycraft in World War I. He was a German spy
God damn it.
originally, which is so cool.
I love it.
So basically everybody was convinced, let's keep it a secret. We're going to protect the, you know, financiers and the partners. So Carl, he approaches a respected Dutch printing firm for the job.
Okay.
And he says, hey, we need this, you know, we need you to make these plates to print this money.
We need you to print money, and the printing firm's like, you what?
Yeah. And basically they said, to make these plates this intricate, it's going to cost us too much. Like, it's going to take too much time. We can just take other contracts. Go to these guys. And they referred them to Waterlow and Sons Limited in London. So he goes to London, and they said, okay, we'll do it, but we have to receive direct correspondence from the bank saying, you know, authorizing it, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need to cover our asses on this because, you know, it's a big deal if this was a scam.
It's fair.
So, of course, Elvis just forges those letters, gets them notarized, and sends them off. And they say, okay, here we go. And they start printing. Which is
God
fantastic.
damn it, I love it.
The printing company pretty quickly realized that the orders included serial numbers that had already been printed.
Oh.
And big red flags go off.
Yeah.
They're like, shit. Like, they're serialized for a reason. We can't have duplicates. Like, what's going on? So they immediately do two things. They contact the bank, and they send a letter to the governor over the bank. Their bank contact was Elvis.
Oh,
they gave him Elvis's number and said, this is the Bank of Portugal.
Jesus.
The letter
Is Elvis.
got lost in the mail. Otherwise, this whole thing would have fallen apart.
Damn.
Like, pure chance that letter did not get to him.
Alves is just...
He's working at the post office.
Yeah, he was also their mailman. He would just wear a mustache. And he would pick up their mail, he'd look through it, and he'd be like, oh, wait, to the fucking Portuguese bank governor. No.
Take that.
This looks like it might get lost in the mail.
Alves, being the smooth talker he is, basically says, no, they're okay to be reserialized because they're only going to be distributed in Angola. When they arrive there, we're going to stamp them all. It's just for circulation within the colony.
And the guy doing it is like, okay.
Okay.
Like, what a...
Oh, you're the bank governor? Okay.
Piss poor... Okay, well, this is only going to circulate in Angola. Do you know anything about, like, currency and how it can move?
Well, there'll be stamps. It'll be stamped. Every single bill that they're printing, instead of just having it in the printing, they're going to stamp it by hand as an afterthought. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Jesus.
So they do it.
Literally create their own fucking currency.
They printed 200,000 banknotes. Each one 500 escudos each. $500 essentially.
So
about $100 million.
Yeah, damn.
In face value. And he just gets it printed and delivered basically to his house.
Damn, $100 million. You could buy, what, 1,000 engineering companies and 1,000 mining companies.
It's $100 million in 1924.
Yeah. No, I'm saying because he spent $100,000 on those two fucking businesses.
He could get, exactly. So he, at the peak of their printing, there were equal amounts of legitimate and fake $500 notes in existence. They printed the same amount that were already in circulation.
So they doubled. So it was basically $200 million now.
Just in those bills,
yeah. God, dude.
So, I mean, you can't just start spending this money and that you got to transport it. How do you get it out of London into Portugal and then down to Angola or wherever it was going to be? In walks Jose.
Mm-hmm.
He uses his brother's diplomatic status to import pallets of bills.
Jose's just in one of those, like, canvas military trucks. He's
Pretty
like,
much.
yeah, just load it in. He doesn't need to be in an armored vehicle. No big deal.
It's fine.
Just banknotes.
And then his Carl also used his Liberian diplomatic passport
Of course.
to basically just import the bills. And at this point, they're like, yeah, this is for a secret loan program. I think they're starting to figure out what's going on. So Alves takes the money and starts to launder it.
Uh-huh.
And he either breaks it into smaller denominations, or he the main thing he did is he would exchange it for foreign currency that was gold backed.
I was just about to say
Portugal was not gold backed at that point.
I was going to say I was curious if they were just basically going to exchange everything in the countries that they were in, which easy, yeah.
An interesting thing is that foreign exchange at this time, because of the recession, potential depression, you couldn't do foreign exchange for currencies, but pretty much every whatever they're called would just do it. They would do it, they would document it, and then they would tear the page out.
Oh, I see.
Of their books.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's how it starts. He ends up taking 25% of it for himself.
Figures.
Just straight up cash.
Huh.
The rest of it, the group used to develop and establish the Bank of Angola and Metropole. He opens a bank in the colony.
God damn.
With almost all of the rest of the money. Everybody at this point
is
likely
a legitimate bank.
It's a legitimate bank because they have the money.
Yeah.
And so it
has a real notary stamp on it.
Everybody's getting, their share.
Mm-hmm.
And Jose becomes the leader of the bank. He's the head of the bank.
Damn.
And they start to heavily invest in Portugal, Angola, and other places. They also provide extremely low interest loans with no deposit necessary for people in Angola. The idea
the dude grew up in a poor situation.
No, that's not why.
Don't
give him that.
I was like, maybe he's giving back.
Nope.
Maybe he's giving back to the
Basically,
community.
more people will go in say get a loan for a couple thousand,
Yeah. They're less
start a
likely to pay it
successful
off, yeah.
company, they pay it off. That money that they paid it off with is now legit. It's fully laundered.
It's now real fucking laundered money. God
Yeah.
damn it.
So
dude.
it's just a laundering scheme.
Jesus.
They invest in currency, land, construction, businesses, engineering businesses, mining businesses, retail stores.
I feel like this is the first and only time you'll ever hear somebody laundering money directly through a bank. Like,
right?
God damn,
it
dude.
is. They made it legit.
Wow.
They made it entirely legitimate. And they start going on like tours of different countries where they would just go on a tour and then buy stuff. Buildings, I mean, businesses, land.
Jesus.
Little
tour bus.
Alves, yeah. Alves purchased, the translation is fantastic. It's Palace of the Golden Boy. I don't know what it is. Right now, it's like a council building, like a city building.
Every other language translates so badly in
I
English.
love it. I entirely love it.
The English language is fucked when it's translated from something else.
Yeah. And then he buys
Golden
3
Boy.
plantations, gets into the vegetable oil game, a fleet of taxis. He's basically running the taxi show
Damn.
in Angola. A bunch of jewelry and clothing for his wife. There are
Couple of houses.
wealthy beyond anybody's dreams now.
dude. They're bankers now. They're a banking family. Like
Yeah.
this is
They own the bank.
yeah. They own the country.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
They don't
like,
just own the bank.
it
They are
starts to get,
Angola's economy.
pretty much, and Portugal's by
Yeah.
extension. Jose goes on to buy a chain of retail shops, and heavily investing money. That's the main thing they did. They were throwing money at anybody
Damn.
who wanted it.
Yeah, because they
And it was
because
working
they're
because it's a
printing
colony.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hennies, Adolf Hennies, he went on a tour of Angola with Alves, and they bought a bunch of property, they invested in businesses, and they started developing cities.
What year is this?
1924.
Damn, they were doing it.
This all
quick.
happened within about a year.
That's Jesus.
This, once they started printing it, they were hailed as developmental heroes.
I'm sure. Dude.
They were celebrated, like wherever they would go, and they basically took Portugal out of their recession.
Wow.
Huge boom in the economy. Life is great.
Until.
Step 3 of the plan needs to happen. This was step 2.
All right. What's step 3?
Buy enough shares to take over the Bank of Portugal.
Oh God, dude.
Then,
Bro,
As-
you've already fucking.
as the owner, he would be able to retroactively make his story about loaning money to Angola legitimate. Be able to retroactively go in, sweep it under the rug, and say, no, this was a legit thing. It was a
Shit.
secret.
That's a good point.
And he had the money to do it.
Yeah.
He was a competing bank now.
Okay.
The problem is, you have to figure out who owns the shares. It's anonymous.
Yeah.
So all these tours they're doing,
They're really
they're
just
really
trying to
find out. Okay, you're a rich person. Do you
They're just
own
poking.
the shares of this bank, and then buying them out of those shares?
Wow.
To completely take over the bank, they would need 45,000 shares. And I think it was about the beginning of 1925, he had 10,000 already.
Jesus.
So he's well on his way to owning the National Bank of Portugal. And the entire crew was in on it at this point. They're like, yeah, let's buy the bank.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Especially Jose.
at this point, they can't not be in on it.
Oh, yeah.
With what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, so they're making progress. In 1925, rumors start spreading that there are counterfeit bills in circulation.
Oh no!
Well, the problem is there are no counterfeit bills in circulation. They cannot find evidence of counterfeit bills because they're not counterfeit. They're legitimate currency.
Yeah, now it's legitimate. Yeah.
So
So not so much counterfeit, more duplicate serial numbers are circulating.
that's the only flaw.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't figure out. Because when money is serialized, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have a system.
Yeah.
So that you
They
can't.
have like
you're not
sequences
supposed to. Yeah.
of numbers that
So that you
print
can't
out
predict
at the same
it.
time.
So you can't print out money.
Yeah.
You can't predict what the next amount is going to be, what the next serialized is going to be. And he basically figured out everything except that. And suddenly, they're going on these huge investing tours, and people in Portugal and in the Portugal government are starting to get suspicious. But not because of the money.
Mm-hmm.
The money's all legit. The real suspicion is that Portugal thinks that Germany wants Angola.
Oh fuck!
They think Germany is coveting their colony because the colony is so successful. It's bringing them so much money and wealth and resources.
Germany is fucking struggling.
Fucked. Yeah. So they look at the situation. They see Adolf Hennies, right-hand man, essentially, one of the two, or one of the three.
A tale of two Adolfs.
Yeah, that's what this should have been called. Damn. But they see Hennies is there, and, you know, high up in this brand new competing bank that's lending out a ton of money at, like, rates that they could not compete with. And they're thinking, ooh, he's got a history. They look into him. They're like, he's got a history of espionage in World War I for the Germans. They're trying to take over the bank. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, they think the bank is a front for the Germans.
And the Germans are saying, no, it's the Jews.
Yeah, seriously. And Hennies also at the time bought a huge amount of plantation land where overnight he became a competing vegetable oil magnate.
God damn.
The other guy who basically had a monopoly on it before Hennies showed up said, I don't like competition. And this guy came out of nowhere. He was a spy in World War I, and now he's super wealthy. I think there's something wrong. Luckily, I also own the leading newspaper in Portugal. And Hennies had tried to buy the leading newspaper the top newspaper in Angola, but wasn't able to. It was too expensive, or the deal fell through or something. But they saw that as no, it's the Germans. They're trying to take over the country. And also, I don't like competition. So this competitor sicks all of his, like, investigative journalists on this group of dudes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just sends them to follow them around, look into their backgrounds, look into everything that they possibly can. Especially because I think really it was the competition. Like, they just didn't want the competition. So they start investigating this new bank, the members' backgrounds, and they start filing reports, essentially, like, this bank can't provide these low-interest loans on their own. It's because it's German government money that they're able to do this. The Germans are infiltrating and trying to gain control of this colony. They're going to set up all their own, like, German-held businesses, and then basically shut down the entire industry, shut down the country the colony until they gain control of it, essentially. The Inspector of Banking Commerce, high-up government official, also opened an investigation because he realized they were trying to buy big shares of the Bank of Portugal.
God damn.
Conflict of interest. So he starts looking into them. And Jose starts to back down. He starts to like, okay, I'm not going to try to buy any more shares. Let's cool it off for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's
lose the heat.
Let's lose the heat. At this point, this is the worst thing. Is totally normal dude. He was a money changer. Was his job. He did foreign exchange in Porto, where Alves lived, and he worked with Alves many times. Yeah, it was illegal, but pretty much you wouldn't get in trouble. They would just be like, "Don't do that."
Yeah,
and then you just keep doing it. So he starts to get suspicious because he sees these news stories in the newspaper. And, there's something going on, but we can't figure it out. And it's the Germans, and it's like, oh, no, am I helping the Germans get this colony? Like, what's going on? So he starts getting suspicious of Alves. He thinks the money's counterfeit. He calls in a bank inspector and says, hey, this is all the money I got from Alves.
Yeah.
I think it's a forgery. I think it's a counterfeit. They inspect it. It's not. It's legitimate bills.
Yeah, because he's already legitimized
What can
all
you
of
do?
It. Yeah.
So, finally, end of 1925.
And then Alves finds out that this fucking guy just flipped on him. Yeah, and he just stops exchanging there.
So, December 1925, I think it was a journalist noticed a repeating serial number.
Damn.
Just one. They publish a huge smear piece, and they say, anybody who's done any business with this bank, with these people,
man.
Put those bills aside and compare them to the published, like, serialized numbers from the bank. And banks start and financial institutions and companies start popping up saying, wait, I have a duplicate. Wait, I have a duplicate. Wait, I have a duplicate. And everything starts to fall apart.
Oof.
They figured out that that there were duplicates. And the Bank of Portugal contacts Waterloo and Sons because they were one of the very few companies who had the capacity to print like this.
Yeah.
And they say, no, we got the contract. You know, we know it was a secret, but you're the Bank of Portugal. Like, you know about this. And they're like,
no, we don't.
What? Duh.
Jesus.
So Alves and Hennies were on a ship to Portugal from Angola at the time, and they were tipped off. Somebody let them know, hey, there's basically a warrant out for your arrest. You've been found out.
Yeah.
Hennies used his German trick skills, I guess, and escapes, changes his identity, and keeps his share of the money.
Jesus.
And flees the boat,
Yeah.
the ship. Alves
Just goes on up to
says, no, I will defend myself.
Oh,
I can
no,
do this.
Dude.
So he's 28 years old.
Oh, god damn,
Yeah,
dude.
and he's...
I keep thinking of him at this point, with how far the story's progressed, I keep imagining him as like a 50-year-old scam artist.
Right?
And it's like, damn.
20 years old, he gets arrested off the ship in Portugal. His sentencing gets delayed for 5 years
Ooh.
because he argues that government elites and bank officials were in on it, and they're throwing him under the bus.
Damn.
Because
dude.
the forgeries are so legit.
Yeah.
The judge says, hold on, he might be right. Like, how could he have done all this?
Yeah, and he's got like he has the sway now because he is a banker. This is like somebody, this is like the U.S. government going, oh yeah, the Rothschilds,
Yeah.
they're scam artists, and the
Let's hear 'em
Rothschilds
out.
are like, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
Like, it would be the same fucking thing now. You'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah, and I love that he always complains it's a criminal conspiracy from the wealthy elites.
Wow, dude.
He's a wealthy elite now.
Yeah.
But he's still got that mind
he's
frame.
not lying.
Yeah.
He's like, everything I'm saying is true. I'm just not telling you which wealthy elites are scamming everyone.
So luckily, not really luckily, 1930 comes around, and he gets sentenced to 20 years.
Okay. I'm a little more comfortable with 20 years.
I'm not.
Not 54 days.
We go into the effects of everything that he does soon. He's sentenced for 20 years. He gets out in 1945 because he converted to Protestant.
Bro.
I know. I read that and I was like, what the fuck? He got 5 years off a sentence because he's religious now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's like we don't want to jail these kinds of people argument. Ugh. So
God
the
damn.
best thing, 1945, he's offered a job at the Bank of Portugal.
No fucking way.
They
really?
offer him a job, and he refuses. Because if you don't know, he's still rich as shit.
Yeah. I doubt they fucking... they're not going to be able to take all of his money because half of it is legitimized.
Yeah, like
More than half of it is legitimized.
Yeah. So, he loses a lot of his companies and investments, but he still has a lot of money. Like, he still has, completely legitimate businesses from before this. So, he ends up, spoiler, he ends up dying in 1955 of a heart attack, 10 years later.
Fuck you.
Jose, he gets caught, at the same time, and he gets sentenced for 15 years. He serves all 15, gets out, and then opens a nightclub. He dies in the 60s.
Should have converted to Protestant.
Right? Get 5 years out. But no, he just opens a nightclub. That's it. That's how he spends his life.
Live your life, Jose. Do your thing,
Carl, he goes back to the Netherlands, and he's sentenced to...
Oh, I thought he changed his identity and disappeared.
No, that's Hennies.
Oh, that was Hennies.
That's the German.
Yeah, that's right. That was...
Yeah, this is the Dutch guy.
Yeah,
He gets tried, deported to the Netherlands, and he gets sentenced to 11 months.
What?
But even better, he says, I don't want to serve that, so he just leaves the country.
That's the most
The other guys
fucking...
get 15 and 20 years.
That's the most Dutch shit I've ever heard in my
love
life. They're like, you're sentenced to almost a year, and he goes, no, I'm not, and just steps over the line. He's like, I'm going to Brussels. Like,
And he
fuck.
has, the best prisons in the world. Like, he probably would have gotten a degree in that 11 months.
They probably walked him in there, and he's like, this room isn't for me. They're like, oh, okay. Yeah,
I don't like the color scheme.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll just leave.
God. Here's a fucking ticket to literally anywhere
France.
else on the planet.
He takes a ticket to France, actually.
God damn,
where
dude.
he uses his money to purchase an electrical manufacturer. He becomes a naturalized citizen, starts a family in France, and gets extremely wealthy. Imagine buying an electrical manufacturer company in the 1940s.
God
He would
damn,
be so
dude.
rich.
You really would.
Hennies-
And then he never took another trip through Netherlands, which is fair.
Yeah, fair enough. Worth it. So Adolf Hennies, he disappears for a little bit.
Shows up again in 1932 with a different last name.
Yeah, weird. No, he does. He flees to Germany, and he reappears as Hans Doring, which is his real name. This entire time.
Oh, okay, so Adolf's been a fucking front.
Adolf Hennies has been
dude.
a lie this entire time.
What a
His real
stud.
name is Hans Doring, and he still has a bunch of money. He says, "I'm just gonna keep the ball rolling. Let's invest in, middle of the war Germany."
Oh.
He loses all of his money.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh god, did he invest in and start creating concentration camps?
Yeah, he invests in a small company that produced Zyklon B, a pesticide.
Oh
No.
boy.
He loses a lot of his money, and he's like, okay, I can't be trusted with my own money. I'm going to have basically a conservator or like somebody who takes charge of your finances. So he gives his money to one of his closest and most trusted friends. What was remaining? It wasn't very much.
Alves,
Yeah.
now working for the Portugal bank.
Yeah, no, he gives it over to a trusted friend who refuses to give him any back, and he dies in poverty.
Oh damn!
He just took it. He's like, bye.
Trusted friend that.
So obviously, during this whole event, there was a huge economic boom. Huge amount of development happened, especially in Africa, southwestern Africa. Turns out, adjusted for inflation, Alves introduced $76 million into the Portuguese economy, which, GDP, how it's not just the money that's circulating, it's like the value of everything, all that stuff.
It's like the assets and everything.
It was about 1%.
Jesus.
Of the total, like, not GDP. What's the term I'm trying to think? It's like their, I don't know the term, but basically,
GBP.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't remember what it was. When he got caught, the exchange value of Portuguese currency dropped off the planet.
Oh, I'm sure.
To nothing. The entire Portugal currency system lost credibility.
I mean, this is all. A lot of this, I feel like, is because he probably had the majority of the money that was actually moving around.
He had a ton,
it's always the idea that I've seen that it's like what fixes economies and what gets the ball rolling is when money touches more hands. The more hands money touches, the better it is for the economy. And when everybody's saving because you're in a depression, you're like, I got to hold on to what I fucking have. And then you've got some dude that's like, oh, I created a bank out of literally thin air. He's circulating cash like fucking crazy. It's touching everybody's hands, and that's building the economy back up. It may have been 1% of their total value.
Oh, but it was
But I
circulating
promise
money.
that shit had to have been 10% of what was circulating.
Oh yeah, liquidity,
Especially considering so many people found duplicates. It's because he was circulating shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, if you remember, it was half of the $500 banknotes.
Yeah.
In total circulation.
Jesus.
So he, the government and the bank essentially got most fake notes within 20 days. They were able to recall them, get them out. About 115,000, which means they still lost 85,000 is still in circulation. But taking that much money out of your economy then causes a lot of issues.
Jose starts seeing all of these duplicate bills coming into his club. He's like, fuck.
No, so basically there was a confidence crisis, which, that's a financial thing. There's just no trust in the currency anymore, especially because it's not backed.
Wonder why.
Yeah, especially because it's not backed by gold or anything. Chain reaction of events causing different political and financial unrest within the country leads to a coup d'etat against the Republic government.
Oh my God.
That transforms the country into a national militaristic authoritarian dictatorship.
Jesus.
And it's not changed until the 70s.
God damn, dude.
He basically has a dictatorship installed on accident.
Yeah, he actively set
the wheels in motion.
Yeah. He fucking paved the road for a dictatorship.
To just walk up
Jesus.
it. And they just took control. And Waterloo and Sons got the shit suit out of it.
Oh, God, dude, I'm sure.
The
they
Waterloo,
burned down.
well, interestingly enough, Waterloo, the main guy, he was basically kicked out by the board because he had
He
said,
fucked
yeah,
it
let's
up.
do this.
Yeah.
He then became the Mayor Lord of London,
The Mayor Lord of London.
which is a cool
Jesus.
title. But yeah, the company gets the shit suit out of them. They never financially recover from it.
Nah, I don't blame him. Yeah.
And yeah, he basically
God.
circulated enough money to accidentally install a dictatorship,
He literally
a fascist government.
He destabilized their economy and then destabilized their government.
Well, he
Like-
boomed their economy and then
Yeah.
destabilized
Yeah.
it, and then
Jesus, man.
and he
The
dies
most
of a heart attack.
interesting man on the
I don't know
planet.
why how we haven't heard about this. We've talked about
Yeah.
sneaky schemes and shit like this, but
I mean, it's a big one. It's one
is a big
where
one.
even when we've talked about like sneaky stuff, I think it wouldn't have fit into a lot of those
Oh, yeah.
episodes
It
because a
would've
lot
been
of those they're small potatoes, man. Like they aren't shit. And this is a big.
It's a
old
big
bitch. Yeah,
one.
this is a big bitch.
yeah, but
Wow.
I fucking love it. Like
That's
I don't know how
insane.
he got, and it was just because of a shitty notary.
Yeah. It's because he
Boil it
owned a
down.
stamp.
Yeah, because he found a notary stamp in a trash can.
He was looking for food in a dumpster and he found it and was like, "Oh, I might be able to use
Ooh,
this."
alright. Yeah, that's legitimately it.
Jesus.
It's fantastic.
How bad, dude? It's fucking bonkers. I love it.
Fantastic. That's supposed to be a shorter episode, but
Nah, I
you
mean,
know how that happens.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, as always, thanks for tuning in. And if you would like to support us on Patreon, by all means, check us out at Points of Pressure on there. If you can't afford it, don't do it.
But it's $4
we
and
appreciate
20
you
cents.
guys. Yeah, we appreciate you guys just listening. But if you're interested in getting some additional shit, by all means, check it out. We upload an extra episode at the end of every month. So
Yeah.
this month
Hey,
is
consistent.
mine. So I got 2 episodes to do this week.
Consistency.
Fuck. No worries. But
Yeah.
you got them names.
Yeah, I just clicked away from it. All right. Hold on. I got
Oh, I was like, wait, what the fuck? There were so many more.
Sorry, I had to sort by active. Damn it, I did that cough thing. I'm trying not
I
to.
told you. I told you
You're
to do it.
ridiculous.
You do it every time.
All right, of course, the chairman of the board, Minnie D, Toddle Waddle, and Weston, they allow us to print our own currency.
Yeah, they're setting us up for printing our own currency and purchasing all of Engel.
Yeah, we're currently
We're in the process
in
of
the process. Of course, we've got Abby, AJ's third nut, Thomas, Dark Runner, D's nuts, and Laura Rovo. Thank you guys so much for supporting us, letting us keep doing this show. And yeah, it's your part now.
it. Yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in every week. Really does mean a lot. Let's see, we got 3 more episodes until we take a break. So keep an eye on that shit. We'll be breaking for just under a month. I think we'll have 3 weeks off until we pick back up. We got to look at it exactly, but that is coming up. Tell all of your fucking friends about the show, please. If you hear about somebody talking about the show, tag us. If you see something that you guys are like, oh my God, D and AJ talked about this, tag us, send it our way, whatever. It helps with growth, and we would really appreciate it. And as always, if you guys ever have any recommendations for books, movies, TV shows, fucking music, really anything, if you see memes you like, you just want somebody to talk to, by all means, reach out to us on Instagram at pointsopressure, and feel free to email us at the letters, all of them are letters, ppdnaj@gmail.com. We'll catch you guys next Monday.